everyone, my name is Ellen and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Say You Won't Let Go by James Arthur on the guitar, so stay tuned if this is something that you want to learn. I met you in the dark, you lit me up, So this song is actually pretty easy to play if you're a beginner because there's only 4 chords you need to know to play the entire song, and they're all pretty easy and none of them are barred chords or anything, so that's a plus. And also, to play it in the same key as the original song, you will want to use your capo and put it on the 3rd fret. If you don't have one, it's okay, you can actually just play this entire tutorial through. It'll just be a little bit lower than his version. And really quick, I just wanted to take a minute to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by my friend Leo over at Wooden Capos. I've talked about him before. He makes beautiful wooden capos for guitar and ukulele. He makes these by hand, and so each one is beautifully crafted, and the cool thing is he can personalize your capo by choosing different kinds of wood. This is my Karelian wood capo, and he also does engravements, so you can see my Forever Faithful butterfly logo on this one as well. So if you are looking for a personalized beautiful capo like this instead of just a regular old plastic one, then please go visit his website. I'll link it right here, and I'll also link it in my description box below, as well as all of his social media that you can follow. He's always coming up with different ways to improve his design, and I just really strongly believe in him and his company. So if you are looking for a gift for yourself or for another guitar player in your family or one of your friends, please go check out his website and consider buying one of these beautiful capos for yourself or someone you love. Alright, so back to the tutorial. Like I said, you only need to know 4 chords to play the whole song, so let's go ahead and jump into what those look like. You'll get better, you make me feel this way somehow. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over the chords you need to know for this song. The first one is G, which looks like this and sounds like this. A lot of you guys might play G like this without using both the ring and the pinky finger, but if you want to attempt the picking pattern I want to show you at the end, then make sure you're actually playing it with this fingering because it will make a difference. Our next chord is G suspended 2/F sharp, which looks like this and sounds like this. So I'm just betting this is kind of a new chord for a lot of you. If it's a little bit too hard to play, you can substitute it with D suspended 4, which looks like this and sounds like this. But this substitution will only work for the strumming patterns. If you want to learn the picking pattern, you do need to try to learn this fingering, which is the G sus2/F sharp chord. And I will probably be referring to this chord as G sus2 for the rest of the tutorial, just because it takes a long time to say the entire chord name. Alright, next we've got E7, which looks like this and sounds like this. And then our very last chord is C, which looks like this and sounds like this. And those are all the chords you need to know for this song. Alright, so once you have your chord shapes memorized, go ahead and practice transitioning from one to the next one, because this song does follow the same chord progression for the entire song, which is G to the G suspended 2/F sharp chord, or D sus4 if that's what you want to play instead, to E7 to C. So go ahead and practice your chords in this order. Until you're comfortable transitioning between them, and then once you are, let's go ahead and jump into some strumming patterns that you can use with this song. You most, I'm gonna love you till my lungs give out. Alright, so like I always say, the first strumming pattern you should start out with, especially if you're a beginner, is just a 1 single downstroke on the beat for each chord as you go through the song. That way you can get used to where those chord transitions are going to be taking place. So go ahead and put your G chord on, since that's our first chord in the song, and we're just going to strum it down once. Move on to your next chord, strum down once. Our next chord, E7, and then our last chord, C. And that's the whole strumming pattern. Now you just want to go through and kind of sing through the song and practice those transitions just so you can get more familiar with where those are going to take place. So we've got G, G sus2, E minor 7, and C. I met you in the dark, you lit me up, you made me feel as though I was enough. We danced the night away, we drank too much, I held your hair back when you were throwing up. So go ahead and practice through the whole rest of the song just like that until you know where all those chord transitions are to be expected, and then we can move on to our second strumming pattern. So our second strumming pattern is still very simple to play. Here it is. It's just down, 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 up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna play this through once for each chord change. So if you go ahead and put your G chord on, since that's the first chord in the song, we're just gonna play through this pattern in rhythm. So it goes down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Very simple, right? So now let's go ahead and add in those chord changes. So we've got G, down, down, up, G sus2, down, down, up, E minor 7, down, down, up, C. I met you in the dark, you lit me up, you made me feel as though I was enough. We danced the night away, we drank too much, I held your hair back when you were throwing up. Alright, and if you wanted to, you could apply that strumming pattern for the entire song and it would sound really beautiful. But if you are up to it, let's go ahead and learn one more strumming pattern that's a little bit more detailed that you can use throughout this song. So here's our third strumming pattern. As you can see, it's a little bit longer and more detailed than our previous two, but it still is pretty easy to pick up on once you get the rhythm and the hang of it. So let me go ahead and play it for you so you can hear the rhythm. We've got down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Alright, so go ahead and put your G chord on with me and let's go through that a little bit slower. We've got down, up, down, up, down, down, up. It's kind of maybe hard to hear right now since we're not doing it in rhythm, so let's go ahead and put it in rhythm. We've got down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. So let's go ahead and put in those chord transitions. We've got G, up, down, 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 up, G sus2, up, down, up, E minor 7, and C. G, up, down, 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 up, G sus2, up, down, up, E minor 7, down, up, C. Now we'll speed it up a Alright, if that strumming pattern was just a little bit hard for you, you can always refer back to one of the first 2 strumming patterns, or if you just want to pause this video and practice this pattern through slowly, I would recommend that until you can gradually speed it up on your own, and then you can play through the song with that strumming pattern. And I almost forgot to mention there is one more little thing you could add to this 3rd strumming pattern, which is a palm mute, and it kind of changes the sound of the pattern itself. So once you get it up to tempo, then go ahead and try putting the side of your playing hand, gently laying it on the strings between your sound hole and your bridge. And so what we're going to do now is every time we strum this pattern, when we strum our downstrokes, we're going to leave our hand gently on the strings, and what that's going to do is make it a little bit more mute. So instead of it ringing, we're going to mute the sound. Okay, so if you apply that to our 3rd strumming pattern, we've got down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Now I'm not using a pick, so I'm using the side of my thumb, so it does sound a little bit more similar, but if you are using a pick to play this song and you're just sticking with those strumming patterns, then this is a great way to spice things up a little bit and to give this 3rd strumming pattern just a little extra interest. So if we put that together with our chord changes, we've got G, G sus2, E minor 7, C. This into some of my covers because I like to dress up the guitar as much as I can. So even if I'm using the same strumming pattern, if you add a palm mute, it just makes it sound a little bit more different. So go ahead and try to put that in there if you would like to. Alright, so as beautiful as this song sounds with these strumming patterns, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in and show you guys some picking patterns that you can use. You won't let go. Just say you won't let. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into our picking pattern. I'm going to teach it to you kind of in steps. So let's go ahead and put on our first chord, which is our G chord. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your thumb on the bottom 6th string. And with these 2 fingers, your pointer and your middle finger, you're going to want to put those on the 3rd and 2nd string respectively. So we've got thumb, pointer, middle on 6, 3, 2. So when our left hand is in our G shape, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and pick your thumb, and then pick these 2 strings at the same time. Okay, so we've got, and then right when you pick those 2 strings, you want to kind of mute your strings really quick. So we've got, and all I'm doing with my hand is when I pick those 3rd and 2nd strings, I'm just kind of forming a fist with my hand and just kind of stopping the strings from ringing. Okay? So after we do that, what we're going to do now is with your 3rd finger on your G chord, you're going to want to actually lift that off the string. So now when you pick the 3rd and 2nd string with your right hand, those are the notes you should get. So what we're going to do is thumb these 2 together, mute, and then play it again with our 3rd ring finger from our chord lifted. Try that again. We've got 6, 3rd and 2nd, fist and mute, and then pick those 3rd and 2nd again, but with your ring finger lifted on your chord. Alright, and then once you pick those 2 strings again with your ring finger lifted, you're again going to want to make another fist with your playing hand and just mute those strings again. So we've got, alright. If you're having trouble muting these strings with your fist, you can also just kind of open your hand and slap it, whatever is easiest while you're picking. So that's our G chord. Let's go ahead and move on to our next chord, which is our G sus2 / F sharp chord. And now we're going to do the same thing. You're going to pick with your thumb the 6th bottom string. And again, with your pointer and your middle finger, you're going to pick the 3rd and 2nd strings. And and then mute. And then again, same thing, we're gonna lift our ring finger off from this chord, and then when we pick these two strings, it'll sound like this. So we've got, it's the same pattern as earlier. So with our G chord, we have, then you switch your chords, and it's the same pattern. So now we can go ahead and go to our E minor 7 chord. Again, it's the same thing. We're gonna pick our 6th string with our thumb. With these two fingers, you're picking the same two strings. And then again, with your ring finger, you're gonna lift that off the string and pick these again. So we've got mute, lift your ring finger, mute. So hopefully you're getting the pattern by now. Let's start over from our G chord. We've got, and then we switch to our G sus chord, and then our E minor 7 chord. So now on our last chord, we're gonna switch our hand shape to a C chord, and this is where it changes a little bit. So now with our thumb, instead of playing the bottom 6th string, we're actually gonna be picking the 5th string with our thumb. But then again, these two fingers are still on the same strings we've been picking, the 3rd and 2nd. So we've got thumb, pick these strings, mute it again, and then this time we're not gonna lift any of these fingers off. We're gonna keep it in the C shape, and then just pick those two strings again. 5, pick, mute, pick. So if you string that onto the end of everything else we practice, we have G, G sus, E minor 7, C. And that's the whole pattern. So if this is all you can handle picking wise, you can actually just use this picking pattern and sing it for the whole song. I met you in the dark, you lit me up, you made me feel as though I wasn't enough. We danced the night away, we drank too much. I held your hair back when you were throwing up. Alright, so that's pretty much the backbone of this picking pattern, but let's go ahead and make it a little bit more fancy. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you some things you can add to this basic pattern to dress it up a little bit more. So let's start over from our G chord. So we're going to start it out the same. But here, instead of muting your strings again, you're gonna let it ring, and then we're gonna add a little bit of picking. So we've got, so here I'm gonna re-pick that 6th string with my thumb, and then I'm gonna re-pick the 3rd string with my pointer finger, and then my thumb again. All right, so we've got thumb, pointer, thumb. 6, 3, 6. So we're just tacking that on to the end, so we've got, all right, try that with me again. Moving on, we've got our G suspended chord. So again, we're starting this off the same. We've got 6, 3 and 2, mute, lift our ring finger off, 3 and 2. And then here's where it changes. Instead of muting our strings, we're going to pick our 6th string with our thumb, and then our 3rd string with our pointer finger. All right, so from the beginning again, we've got, Alright, so you can see we're just kind of adding more to the end. So if we go back to our G chord, we've got go ahead and pause the video and practice if you're having a little trouble with this, because when we get to the ending of this next phrase, it's going to get a little bit harder. So one more time, we've got G, G sus2. Alright, and when you're ready, let's go to our next chord, which is E minor 7. Again, this is starting out the same. But again here, instead of muting our strings like we did earlier, we're going to do the same thing we did with our G chord. We're going to take our thumb, pick the 6th string, use our pointer finger, pick the 3rd string, and then use our thumb to pick the 6th string again. So it's kind of following that G chord that we did. So from the beginning, we've got alright, and lastly we've got our C chord. What we're going to do is, again, we're going to use our thumb to pick the 5th string first, then our 3rd and 2nd, mute, and then pick again. So here's what we're going to tack on at the end. We're going to use our thumb to again play the 5th string. And then with your middle finger, you want to pick the 2nd string. And then as you pick that, you want to take your 1st finger here in your chord shape and lift it off the string. Alright, and again, I'm using my middle finger to pick the 2nd string. And then I'm using my 1st finger up here to flick it off of the fret. So again, C is 5th string, 3rd and 2nd, mute, 3rd and 2nd again, 5th string, and then we're going to use our 2nd finger to pick our 2nd string and flick off our 1st finger from the fret. So let's start from the beginning. We've got G, I know it seems really difficult, but this is something that does require practice, so make sure to pause this video and rewind to the places where you can't play it, and just keep practicing those sections, one section at a time, until you can play through the entire thing. So just practice it one chord at a time. Alright, and then once you get those individually, just try stringing them together. Alright, and if that was easy for you, there's one more thing you can add to make this just a little bit more fancy, and what's going to change is your E minor 7 chord. So you can hear that I'm doing that same flick off technique that I did with our C chord. So with your E minor 7, you're going to start it out the same. And then here, you're going to play your 6th string with your thumb again. And then using your 1st finger, you're going to play the 3rd string. And see, with my E minor chord, I'm going to be taking my middle finger here and moving it down one string. So we're going from here to here, okay? And when I do that, I can flick this middle finger off. Okay, so with our E minor, it sounds like this. Let Let me play it a little bit slower so you can see my chord shape changing. Alright, so if you want to add that into the rest of the pattern, it just makes it sound a little bit more detailed. So all together we have like this. Alright, so once you guys have your chords memorized, you can transition between them. You've tackled those different strumming patterns and you've also mastered the picking pattern. Let's go ahead and put all of those elements together so we can play through the whole song. As always, I will always put up here what strumming pattern or picking pattern I'm using for each section, and I will also list all of the chord changes and lyrics and everything in front of you so you'll have everything you need to know to play through the song. I am going to try to incorporate a little bit of each part of this tutorial into my cover, so feel free, if you don't like that, to just stick with one strumming pattern or stick with one picking pattern for the entire thing. All of the options I've provided for you in this video, they all sound great on their own or mixed together. So let's go ahead and play through the entire song of Say You Won't Let Go by James Arthur. Good luck! Just say you won't let go. Your shoulder for a minute, I forget that I'm older. I wanna dance with you right now. Oh, and you look beautiful as ever, and I swear every day you'll get better. You make me feel this way somehow. I'm so in love with you, and I hope you know, darling, your love is more than worth its weight in gold. We've come so far, my dear, look how we've grown. Now I wanna stay with you until we're gray and old. Just say you won't let go. Just say you won't let go. I wanna live with you, even when we're ghosts, 'cause you were always there for me when I needed you most. I'm gonna love you till my lungs give out. I promise till death we part, like in our vows. So I wrote this song for you, now everybody knows, 'cause it's just you and me until we're gray and old. Just say you won't let go. Just say you won't let go. Just say you won't let go. my tutorial for Say You Won't Let Go by James Arthur. I really hope that it was able to help you guys, even if it was just a little bit. If you did like it, please make sure to give it a like down below, as well as subscribe to my channel if you're interested in learning more guitar songs in the future. If you currently are in the mood to still keep on playing some more guitar songs, make sure to check out one of my playlists up here. The Detailed Tutorials playlist is going to be songs more like this one, where there's picking patterns and it's just a little bit more intricate, so that's probably more for like intermediate players or people who like to do finger picking and stuff like that. My basic tutorials are just easy songs with probably 4 chords or less and just really simple strumming patterns that you can probably get really quick. And then my TMT tutorials are my tips and tricks, where I just show you guys techniques about guitar and how to take care of your guitar and things like that. And also feel free to follow me on any of my social media sites if you would like to. I do a lot of polls and giveaways, and I just ask you guys a lot of your opinions on there. So any of those are a great place to get in touch with me and just express any concerns you have or any requests that you have for future tutorials and stuff like that. So again, thank you so much to Leo for sponsoring this video. Make sure please to check out his website listed in the description box below if you are interested in buying one of his beautiful capos for you or a friend. Especially now around the holidays, it would be a great time to gift those away. And there's even a coupon code. If you use the coupon code Ellen, you'll get 15% off your purchase. So make sure to check that out if you're interested. And I think that concludes my tutorial, so thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!